Let's bring in Smitty. A lot of topics on the buffet there for you, Smitty. Craig Smith, our Director of Scouting, joining us. How you doing, my man?
Doing good. How are you guys?
We're fantastic and always excited to bring you onto the program and talk ball. So Stefan Logan, you saw he announced his retirement on this show about 20 minutes ago. What comes to mind when you think of joystick?
Well, he was there when I was there in 2008, and there was a few backs that were there in training camp that were pretty darn good. And I'm just amazing the longevity that he showed. He just kept on going. As he got older, he didn't lose anything, and it was just incredible what he did. As an older athlete, he just didn't lose a thing, and I was happy for him to get an opportunity to go down to Detroit. I remember scouting a game that he was in there, and I thought, yeah, maybe he might not be back, but obviously he came back. He was with Montreal. He said that didn't like the way it ended there. Played in Ottawa, but what a heck of a career for the kid.
Do you want to go straight to the NFL or dabble in any CFL talk? And the only CFL talk is our poll question. Should they continue with the CFL 2.0 global experiment? Do you want to take a stab at that or move to the 4-down league?
Yeah, the CFL, I'm all for development, but I'm more so for the development of the Canadian kids. And, it's okay to have a look. I'm not sure, they did spend a lot of money with regards to that. And, it would be nice to talk with Greg Quick to talk about, what he saw, because he was the guy that, spent countless hours doing scouting, writing reports and things like that. It would be nice to see what he said. But I talked to a few people with regards to, what was coming out of there. And I know that they weren't all enamored with regards to the talent. Now, you guys had mentioned, there's a possibility that guys could come in and they could work, but why not do it with the Canadian kids? This is the Canadian Football League. I love it. And I said it before on this show, guys like Brent Johnson, Chris Getzlaff, they weren't stars right away. They came in, they developed. A guy like Jason Araki, who never really got a starting position, but a record for special teams tackles. He came in and did a heck of a job. Neil McKinley, guys like that who have come in, worked on special teams and had great careers. So like I said, I'm all for the Canadian talent in the Canadian Football League.
Yes, and I know Canadian kids that were on the sidelines not even getting an opportunity to play that were better than some of the Europeans and Mexicans that came up. And to me, that's just simply wrong. I don't know how you state it. What's the proper way of saying it? But it was a marketing initiative. But anyways, topic for another time. The National Football League, Smitty, you're our Director of Scouting. You got your finger on the pulse of things. Who's the MVP of the NFL 3 weeks in your opinion?
Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't like being called Pat. But Patrick Mahomes, I think. It's just incredible what that guy does. The vision that he has when he's looking downfield and making those throws, it's just amazing. And who throws it better? A long ball than him. He drops it in. It's almost like he runs it down there and drops it into the receiver's hands. He's so good, so impressive. Now that's 1A is Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Should we just stop the season right now and just let Kansas City and Green Bay play in the Super Bowl? Those teams are. I would pay big money to just go see that game. Those guys are incredible. The two Aarons in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones, they've just been doing such a great job. Green Bay, I left him out them in the top 5, and that was obviously a huge mistake. But the big thing is when you got Aaron Rodgers, you certainly got an opportunity. Quarterback is such a critical thing, and there's some kids that look at Josh Allen, what he's doing. I tweeted, Buffalo is for real, and then all of a sudden Rams come back and made it a game, and there's a questionable interference call, but the Rams have been there before on the other side. So, but it's quite an amazing thing with regards to the quarterbacks this year, and Buffalo is very interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Well, any chance that we've jumped to way too many conclusions? Yes, Aaron Rodgers is going to be great. Patrick Mahomes is so young, and we're already just saying he's so good. Let's talk about the next level of MVPs. Russell Wilson, right? Mahomes is here already, and pay-wise he actually is. But do you not think that maybe it's a little early, or Is this what we have? Is what we're going to get for the rest of the year? I asked Jim Lang that yesterday. I'll ask you.
It's so many things can happen, right? Like I had when I put my top five. There's so many ifs. If this happens, then there's so many things that can happen with regards to injury and stuff like that. But right now, Kansas City and Green Bay are definitely at the top, but there's a lot of other good teams. I mean, you take a look at that Pittsburgh defense. That Pittsburgh defense is pretty special. You got Ben, you got a chance again, and the Connor kid has ran for 100 yards 2 weeks in a row. You get a really good running game, and then you combine it with the good old Chase Claypool and Juju and all. That's a pretty solid football team as well. And Lamar, they didn't have a very good game this week, but they're still up there. And Seattle's defense, that's the problem. The pass rush and what did Dak? I think he threw for 470 yards, something like that. And Dallas's production has been very, very good. And I had mentioned that in the previous show that Dallas has got a lot of skill, but you say that they could be 3-0, but they could be 0-3 pretty easy. But I know two of the guys on the coaching staff, and I'm cheering for those guys, and hopefully, they can make the playoffs in that week East.
Well, Cake, I want to come back to the Cowboys, but who do you think is the best team in the NFL right now?
In the NFL, the best team, Kansas City. I think that just what they do. I was very amazed at what they did against Lamar. Even my dad recognized Lamar Jackson, saying, "Man, that guy is amazing how he can run." But they shut him down, and they did such a good job. Not only offensively. Think about the weapons that they have. Kelsey, one of the best tight ends. The new kid from LSU, Edwards-Helaire. He plugs it in, right? And then the Sammy Watkins. Some of these other, they've got so many different weapons. Right now, I can't see anybody being better than Kansas City. Now, there's obviously teams that are scratching and clawing, real close, and that's why they play the games. You never know what can happen, but I think Kansas City takes the cake right now. Very interesting teams. You take a look at New England. Well, Bill is doing it again. He's working his magic. All those guys that they lost, with regards to COVID and free agents signing somewhere else, and Cam comes in, and Cam's not lighting it up, but he's doing a pretty darn good job. That's an interesting team. Poor San Francisco, man, I feel for them. They all those injuries, like that's tough. And obviously they had to play the two New York teams who are at the bottom of the barrel right now, but. Look at Mullins. Mullins threw for over 300 yards and went in there. He did pretty darn good. So I feel for them. It's a tough thing. My long shot pick, Indianapolis, they've got a pretty good team. Their defense is very solid. Depends on what Rivers does. They lost, obviously, their running back. They're a solid team. They're probably not a number 5 team, but they're a solid team. I'm very interested in Dallas, though. That's a very interesting team because they just have so many weapons. I love that CD Lamb that's gone in there. They haven't even used Elliott, the way that I think that they could, and I think it's so important to have a run game to win.
Well,
and again,
Jeff, the Stamps fan, has written in and says maybe Jerry Jones needs to step back. Listen, Jerry has put together with his staff a Super Bowl contender. He can't do anything from up in the press box. It's the greatest offense in the National Football League. CD Lamb is doing number 88 justice, as Michael Irvin's allowed it to be unretired for Dez and now for CD. Listen, people say they could be 0-3. Well, I look at the mistakes that were made, that they could be 3-0. People are saying, well, they were one recovered kick from being 0-3. Well, they did it. So that's why I think the Cowboys will turn this around. But just lastly, Smitty, before we let you go, how much are you enjoying college football? Dun, 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 dun. What is it?
Yeah.
That was Monday Night Football.
Yeah, it was Monday Night Football. It'll come to me. I'm enjoying it immensely. Yeah. How much are you enjoying it?
Well, I love it. I'm a Texas fan. I like the Washington Huskies. They'll start to come play a little later. I saw Texas on the weekend. I was pretty disappointed. They were down 15, thinking, they're going to lose this. They came back, tied it up, went into overtime, and won it. Hey, it's so exciting. It's an amazing thing. Thank God for college football. I'm so happy that that it's back, and I'm happy football's back. It's great. You watch possibly a Friday night college game, Saturday the whole day. I've got TVs going like you wouldn't believe, and on the NFL on Sunday, same thing. Monday night football. They said that there's a possibility they'll play that Tennessee-Pittsburgh game on Monday or Tuesday. So we'll see if that happens. And boy, I'll tell you, I was really looking forward to that. The Duke's Tennessee Titans, my Vikings, put up production like you couldn't believe, and they didn't win. I mean, how many? 170 yards for Jefferson, the rookie. I think the running back, Cook, I think he had 180 yards rushing. When you get that and you lose, there's a problem. How ironic is it that the week Gostkowski's he's a GOAT the first week, and then he kicked 6 field goals and then kicked the game winner in the last few. So how ironic is that? It's that's the game, right? That's the game of football. And just one thing. I was a Yankee fan since 1960. My dad bought me a hat. And
Thank you for the answer. Yes,
navy blue hat with a square on it with the NY. Put it on, and at that time, just like you had mentioned, when you're younger and teams are winning, and you latch on to that. Well, they were winning. They won in, I believe, 61 and 62. Then they didn't win for a long time. I went through a lot of lean years. Mel Stoudemire was and then Steinbrenner bought it. But now they'll add a piece here and there with regards to money, but their farm club is just as good as anybody. And a lot of those guys that are playing right now are real good pieces from their farm system. So. It takes a combination of everything. A lot of teams have tried to buy teams. It's not easy to do.
When you were in Tampa, did you ever venture over to their AAA facility there? It's like right across the street from Raymond James Stadium. I think they call it Steinbrenner Stadium or something. You ever seen that? That's something too.
Yeah, Kathy and I went to a game there, and it's very, very. It's just totally amazing. When we used to go down to Bradenton, obviously there was a little time that we had gone. We went to see a Tampa Rays game, and that stadium, it reminds me of the dome in the Kingdom, a dungeon you go into, and it's not the greatest, but if you're going to go to a game, you're going to have it because there ain't going to be any rain on you, so that's kind of cool. But it's a dungeon in there, that's for sure.
Yeah, good memories. Hey, Darren, I got it. Dun 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 dun. That's the college theme.
Yeah, dun 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 dun. dun. Right, the drum's going.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, Smitty, thanks for the chat, my man.
Yep, thank you very much. Good talking with you, and stay safe, y'all.
As always, same to you. We'll be right back. That's our director of scouting, Craig Smith. Love that guy. Cannot wait for him to get in here, back into the bunker. Not sure when that's going to be, but this will do. Until then.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.